Hi there, this is Tata, and welcome to your Chelsea Time Post Show. It is Saturday, July 12th, 2025, and tonight I'll be talking about Saturday night's main event. And yes, I'm reporting to you live from the Command Center in Angel Grove, California. All right, so tonight's Saturday night's main event was all about Goldberg and his retirement match. Like, this whole event was built around Goldberg wrestling his final match and challenging for the world title here. So let's go ahead and talk about the main event. So this main evented, Saturday night's main event. Now, I'm going to be honest here, was not really excited for this match because, if you watched Monday Night Raw, Goldberg looked really gassed when he attacked Gunther. So I was a little worried. This match wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but still it went a little long, and especially like when you look at the way the production was scheduled, like they literally cut Goldberg's thank you speech at the end. So if that was the case, they really should have just shortened this match and let Goldberg talk to the fans and then like have that close the show, but they didn't. No. So I will say Gunther did a good job carrying Goldberg to this match. Goldberg didn't look that bad during this match, but it wasn't a great match either. It wasn't supposed to be. It was just supposed to be a final match. Now, I think it was obvious that Gunther was going to win this match. I don't think Goldberg was going to win at all. The only way I would have slightly been okay with Goldberg winning would have been if, like, let's say Rollins is going to cash in. Unfortunately, that did not happen because he got injured. I'll talk about that in a little bit too. But, this wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Like I said, I wish the production, I don't know why they just cut off Goldberg like that. They really should have given him time. Like I said, this match could have been shortened by like at least 5 minutes, and you could have had Goldberg talk to the fans and had like it close with Goldberg celebrating with the fans and his family and friends out there on the ring. All right, so now let's talk about Seth Rollins versus LA Knight. Yeah. So apparently Seth Rollins was injured during this match. It looked like he was doing moonsaults. LA Knight, after like doctors finished checking on Rollins, he did the BFT and he won. But Fightful Select reports the word backstage was that Rollins' injury was legit. It had at least not been planned for by medical personnel. The severity is not known, and audible was called as Rollins was slated to win. So apparently Seth Rollins was supposed to win this match, and due to his unfortunate injury, an audible was called. Now, I do wonder where Seth Rollins goes from here in his faction, because as we know, Seth Rollins is Mr. Money in the Bank, and he is leading a faction on Monday Night Raw, which consists of Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. So maybe does one of his faction members take over the Money in the Bank briefcase? Like, I think Braun Breaker would be a good candidate to take over the Money in the Bank briefcase. Maybe Paul Heyman leads the group. Again, we don't know the severity of Seth Rollins' injury here. Maybe if he's not too severely injured, maybe he could still make appearances, just not compete, kind of like backstage and kind of still like lead the group, but like not be active, so to speak. I guess we just have to wait and see. It's very unfortunate that Seth Rollins was injured here. I would think that if he had not gotten injured and actually won his match, maybe in the main event he would have gone on to cash in on Goldberg or on Gunther, but it's very unfortunate. I hope Seth Rollins has a speedy recovery. And, sometimes, as unfortunate as injuries are, it can be a blessing in disguise for other wrestlers. Like I said, maybe Braun Breaker takes over the Money in the Bank briefcase for Seth Rollins. I think that would be massive for him. And I know Seth Rollins was feuding with LA Knight. So maybe another thing that they can do is they can put the Money in the Bank briefcase on the line. And personally, I would have wanted LA Knight, to win the Money in the Bank briefcase. I was at Money in the Bank and he got a really massive pop. So maybe they'll give it to LA Knight. Yeah, I guess we just got to wait and see what they do here. But like I said, it's unfortunate that Seth Rollins had an injury, but sometimes an injury can be a blessing in disguise for other wrestlers. So we just got to wait and see. So Saturday night's main event kicked off with Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. Was not a huge fan of this match at all. And, this whole match was done to set up a tag team match. As we know, on Friday Night SmackDown, Jelly Roll had, I don't know why he had a segment. And Logan Paul was interrupted by Logan Paul. So, Jelly Roll was going to be out there in Randy Orton's corner. And Randy Orton ended up winning this. And Jelly Roll was claimed by Drew McIntyre. So when they did an interview backstage, Randy Orton kind of blames himself because, he had Jelly Roll out there. And he basically makes a challenge for SummerSlam. RK Roll versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul in a tag team match, which has already been confirmed. I'm not looking forward to this match at all. And, I mean, they could have honestly had this tag match here on Saturday Night's Main Event. You really didn't need to do this on SummerSlam. But we'll see what happens with that. And last but certainly not least, you had the U.S. title match, Jimmy Uso versus Solo Sikoa. Apparently, this is the second time Jimmy Uso competes for a singles title, but it's the first time he has a one-on-one match. Now, it's no surprise Solo Sikoa wins this. Solo Sikoa has just been so damaged by his booking. I could not take him seriously as a tribal chief for his version of the bloodline because he kept losing. And he needed to win this, and especially after Jimmy pinned him on SmackDown. Really? He really needed to win this. And of course he wins because he gets assisted by Talatonga here. Jacob Fatu comes out and aids Jimmy after Jimmy gets a Samoan spike. It takes everyone out. So it seems like we're going to be pairing up Jacob and Jimmy. Maybe we get reunited of the Usos. I'm hoping when Tama Tonga comes back, we hopefully finally get that match between the Guerrillas of Destiny and the Usos. That's, I think, been a dream match since the Guerrillas of Destiny came to the WWE. All right, so with that being said, on a scale from 1 to a Shawn Spears perfect 10, this was... I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10. This was some of the matches were kind of predictable. Was not a huge fan of the opening match. And Goldberg versus Gunther was not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but I do feel like the production should have given Goldberg a little bit more time to talk to the fans, and their match should have been shorter. And it's very unfortunate that Seth Rollins had an injury during this. But with that being said, thank you guys all so much for watching, and for the continued support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you can notify whenever I go live or do a new video. And I know I haven't been live streaming as much. I'm trying to get back to doing the weekly shows. Also, I'm getting ready to stream Rita's Rewind. I'm gonna try to get it started soon, hopefully. If not, expected during Power Month. But it's not just going to be a Power Month thing. I do plan to continue streaming Rita's Rewind even after Power Month. But, I'm still getting everything together. So more on that when everything is ready. But I hope to see you guys tomorrow for WWE Evolution. Have a great night. Bye.